Kamala Harris better not run. She better not run. She's not going to win the presidency in 2028. Keep in mind, respect for her. I'm not going to disrespect the former vice president of the United States. I will never do that. But we got to be real about something here. When she ran for election on her own, she couldn't make it to Iowa in 2020. She ultimately positions herself against the vice presidency. They win the election in 2020. Joe Biden is feeling himself after the liberals won the midterms. And instead of being a transitional president like he promised, the man backstabbed the Liberal Party and turned around and said, I'm staying. They wanted him out. So what did everybody, we all know this now. Boo Boo the Fool can see what happened now.
And another former fundraiser that you may have forgotten about has already called out the Democrats. We'll have this and more right here on Chat with Me, Linda B. All right, warriors, you know what to do. Don't forget to smash that like button, comment, share, subscribe, hit all notifications, watch the video to the end. Thank you very much. Now let's get into some stuff today. All right, so first of all, there was another Democrat donor that had already called out the Democrats. I think you guys are all in the news. You have Lindy Lee, right? That recently came out. She's really calling people out. She's been on the Sean Ryan show and other shows. But I want to show you another person by the name of Evan Barker.
To say it is so crazy that I'm even speaking to you. If somebody had told me a month ago that I was going to be talking to Fox News, who I've been told is the enemy, I would never have believed it. But basically, yeah, I've worked in Democratic politics a long time. I've raised them millions of dollars. And I went to the DNC last month hoping to feel re-inspired. And instead, I just felt like I was in a room with the most out of touch and elite people in the world. And, you know, I'm originally from the Midwest. A lot of the people in my family are union workers or have been in unions, and they are people who once voted for Barack Obama, and now they vote for Donald Trump. And for a long time, I did not understand why. And after raising money for Democrats and just being in these circles, I have realized that the donors control the party.
Oh, yeah.
They control everything. They control what the candidates prioritize. And I know that Republicans also have this issue too, but Democrats are much bigger hypocrites about it. And so I think what it comes down to is just the hypocrisy and the fact that I don't recognize this party anymore. You know, they've become the party of Dick Cheney, of Goldman Sachs, of endless proxy wars, of identity politics, you know, and I'm just at a point, you know, I've been very brave the last couple of weeks and I've gotten a lot of flack from a lot of people. And I'm just at the point where I can't stand it anymore and I have to speak out. So that's why I'm here.
There you have it. Before Lindy Lee, there's Evan Barker, former Democrat fundraiser, the party of the elites, very out of touch. This party has changed so much. This was last year, the fall of last year. And guys, Democrats, I hate to say it for people who vote that way, that party is pretty much done. You may want to think in your mind, those of you who vote that way, oh, the Democrat Party is amazing. You all should all vote Democrat. They're better than the Republicans. You may think that, but that is not the case. All right, this party has left common sense. This party has left the little man and went towards the big man, the party of donors, the party that does whatever their donors tell them to do. So whatever wicked agenda they come up with, you know, there's money in a lot of wicked things. Pornography, all sorts of trafficking. There's a lot of money in it. It enriches people. I just finished watching a little bit of Candace Owens about the Brigitte Macron scandal and all the people surrounding the Macrons. It looks like virtually everyone is involved in some kind of pedophilia. You know, the P, yeah, that's going to eventually be one of the other letters in the LGBTQ plus. Because that's what they're pushing towards, really pushing. And you can just look around and say, oh my gosh, Brigitte is not a natural born woman. And then you guys had your things that you were thinking about, Barack Obama. So if it happened in France, was this something that they were spreading all around the world? Of course it was. Expenses that were sent towards sex changes in Guatemala, drag queen concerts, and everything else. And the fact that the Biden administration, the former administration, threatened several African nations that if you don't go along with this agenda, we will cut off your funding. And then China and Russia had to step in. So this is something that is definitely being pushed worldwide. But there seems to be something called, I don't know, God. God is big. He is almighty. He is in control. And this has been, I believe, we're headed for a great reset in a good way, in a very good way. Now, switching gears, I want to talk about these billionaire donors that don't want to see, they really don't want to give the Democrat Party any more money. And we already know you cannot operate without money. Take a watch.
Withholding funds, apparently frustrated over faulty leadership and messaging from the top. They're keeping their wallets of support close to their chest. Mark Meredith has more from D.C. on this. And Mark, what you learning? Hello.
Bill, good morning to you. Well, Democrats have been doing a lot of soul searching since President Trump's victory. And while the party has a new chairman, it appears donors are not opening their wallets, at least not yet. The New York Times writes some of the country's biggest liberal donors have paused giving, frustrated with what they see as Democrats' lack of vision. Some Democrats blame former President Biden for their situation after his late exit from the 2024 race. Others question if Kamala Harris was the right candidate for the job after Biden dropped out. Democratic lawmakers, interest groups, activists, they are all still very vocal. They're holding protests almost every day here in D.C., trying to counter the administration. But Democratic donors say the party has to appeal to people on issues like the economy.
There's a desire for a new voice of pragmatism, centrism, and most of all, connection to ordinary people and how they lead their lives.
See, that's what the Democrats haven't quite gotten a grasp of. They appeal to the elites. Now these billionaire donors are holding their purses. They're going, wait a minute, you guys wasted money. We gave you 2.5. The Democrats had $2.5 billion with a B to work with, and gave Oprah, from what I understand, $2.5 million of that money. Oprah is already a billionaire. Paid Beyonce, from what I understand, $10 million. Al Sharptongue toward his Action Now network, his charity. Why did these people have to be paid? And then all that money to put Kamala Harris's face on the top of the Sphere Hotel in Las Vegas, as if that was really going to help their cause. This woman spent $5,000 getting her nails done. What the heck does she have put on her nails? Gold and diamonds? This is what people are seeing right now with the Democrat Party. They spent a lot of money. They did not get their return on their investment. They're like, no, you guys lost in a big way. Donald Trump is in the White House. That is not what we wanted. And they're not giving up their money anymore. They're not doing it. A total waste. Now, the Democrat Party, in my opinion, is done. They are toast. They are roasted. They are gone. Just a distant memory. Well, not too distant. And they're still going to try. And it is my belief. Now, this is belief time. Did not say that this is true. This is just my opinion. I believe that the Democrat Party is going to be working behind the scenes to do dirty work continuously. And if they ever were to get any kind of opportunity to overthrow, they would do it. They would absolutely do it. They would do this party is not the party. This party hates America. This party is very communist. This party is just out of control. Something happened to this party. Okay, it looked like it came in with Barack Hussein Obama, but this had to have been brewing before Obama. And they use color, gender, sexual orientation to get people emotional. And they are the party of divide and conquer. Make no mistake. They're doing that with trying to do it with Donald Trump and Elon Musk, trying to say, well, President Musk, this party is ran by Satan himself. They do every trick that the devil uses. I mean, literally, they do the divide and conquer. They promote sexual immorality. They go after the children and mess them up. I mean, this party is bloodthirsty. If you all don't see it, I feel sorry for anyone who doesn't see it, because it is as plain as the nose on your face. If you would just really take opportunity to look. And if you're listening to the media, they're going to demonize the Republicans. That's because the media, the mainstream media, is the media arm of the Democrat Party. That's what it is. Sort of like the World Health Organization being the medical arm of the United Nations. That's just an extension of this larger entity that's controlling us through mind manipulation, controlling us, programming us to accept things as normal. 20 or more years ago, people would look down at such lifestyles and say, a man can't be a woman and a woman can't be a man. Then they pushed it and pushed it and pushed it. Now people are out there, well, you know, people can be born in the wrong body and have a brain. I heard someone who is a former friend of mine, she acts like she wants nothing to do with me now. She actually said, people can be born in the wrong body. And that's that mess that the Democrats push. That's exactly what they push. And I could see it, this particular thing, working on people's minds, that they just believe things that are just simply not true. This is just not true. But I want to show you guys a little bit more about these billionaires, honey. They are holding their purses.
And I mean, to be frank, Trump has said he will retaliate. He said during the campaign that he believed, he would go after the deep state and their enemies, including, not just reporters, but also liberal donors and, anybody who spent any money to help kind of go after Trump during the first term. And these donors take him seriously. We know that there are wealthy people who are moving their foundations from Republican states to Democratic states, moving assets overseas. Some people have even moved overseas themselves. So from all of our conversations, there's been a chilling effect. I think lots of wealthy people are scared, and that contributes to kind of a lack of public leadership that we're seeing right now, because even if Trump doesn't do anything, and who knows if he actually will, this doubt has been introduced where every move that a liberal billionaire takes today could be scrutinized more so than it would be under a President Romney or a President Cruz, and Trump is winning to that extent because he has kind of wealthy givers fearful.
So basically, these people, these donors, are looking at Donald Trump like, they're scared. They're scared. They want to absolve themselves from being gone after by Trump. So that's why also they're pulling back. So they saw their money was wasted. They're looking at Donald Trump like he could possibly come after them. So, Donald Trump literally got a bunch of people shaking in their boots. Literally shaking in their boots. People in the Middle East, people, I guess in Canada, Mexico, people are really like, let me get in line because, they painted him as a dictator, which is really not. But when he says he's going to do something, he literally does it. So these liberal demon rat donors, they are scared. So they're trying to absolve themselves or leave the country or do whatever they need to do to get away from retaliation by Donald Trump. Wow. These are strange times we're living in. Let's look at some more clips.
The result is a political environment that is strikingly different from 2017, when money poured into Democratic causes, fortifying existing organizations and seeding a flowering of new groups to fight different parts of Mr. Trump's agenda. Now, some of those same organizations are struggling to survive, in part because few new major liberal donors have emerged since 2017. Groups that support LGBTQ rights, promote gender equity, and champion other progressive causes have cut staffing and announced that longtime leaders are leaving. Citizens United, a left-leaning group that aims to overhaul campaign finance laws, laid off its 6 senior staff members last month as part of a restructuring. Run for something which works to elect liberal down ballot candidates, laid off 35% of its staff late last year. And Gelson, GLSEN, a group dedicated to protect the LGBTQ students, laid off 25 people last month. Let me tell y'all something. If you're the Democrats, that's why Stephen A. Smith is in the news. Because y'all don't have anybody. You don't have anybody. Who you got? Who you got? Kamala Harris better not run. She better not run. She's not going to win the presidency in 2028. Keep in mind, respect for her. I'm not going to disrespect the former vice president of the United States. I will never do that. But we got to be real about something here. When she ran for election on her own, she couldn't make it to Iowa in 2020. She ultimately positions herself against the vice presidency. They win the election in 2020. Joe Biden is feeling himself after the liberals won the midterms. And instead of being a transitional president like he promised, the man backstabbed the Liberal Party and turned around and said, I'm staying. They wanted him out. So what did everybody, we all know this now. Boo Boo the Fool can see what happened now. You knew he had lost a step. We don't know what the hell was wrong with him, but clearly his fastball was gone. So you have no primary. You fix it so he doesn't have to face a primary. And then you put him on stage last June 27th for a debate. He embarrasses himself, and 3 weeks later, he has to bow out so Kamala Harris could come in as a Democratic nominee for the presidency of the United States of America at a time when they didn't have any time to put somebody else in to compete with her. You don't overcome that after losing the election. America ain't going to go for it on the left. They ain't going to go for it. Who else you got? Hakeem Jeffries?
So we need to understand something. Stephen A. Smith is right. They don't really have anybody. Hakeem Jeffries, it's not going to work. Okay, people are going to enjoy these next 4 years, and it's going to be hard for people to come up and vote for Hakeem Jeffries or anybody else that the demon rats can put up. And they put themselves in this position by going with this identity politics foolishness, this DEI that focuses not on merit but skin color. And when you talk to a liberal thinking person, when you say the words, we're just going to focus on merit, they automatically think that's being racist. How is it being racist to focus on merit? Are you inadvertently saying some kind of way that because you're a person of color or a female that you can't compete? That's what you're saying. And so you're saying that you need DEI. Smart people of any ethnicity don't need no damn DEI. Okay? We don't need it. We don't need it. It is another way for the Democrats to dangle a carrot in front of our faces and make it look like they're helping us. The main benefactors of DEI, just like with affirmative action, was white women. So there you have it. It's just a scheme, is what they do. And now Stephen A. Smith out here trending for the Democrat nominee because they don't have anybody else. They literally don't have anybody else. Who do they have? Ayanna Pressley? Jasmine Crockett? Who they got? AOC? Oh, Lord. Now she's about to get in some type of trouble for helping illegals evade ICE. These people are not mainstream enough to appeal to the majority of Americans. A lot of people who voted Democrat previously in the previous 2020 election voted for Donald Trump this time, myself included. Now, I've been a Republican voter for some time, but I believe the lies of the media as it pertained to Donald Trump. And I did not do my homework. By the time I got to hearing Donald Trump, the media had already indoctrinated me, programmed me to, in some ways, actually hate him. But let me tell you something. God stood in the way. He got in the way of this election by opening the eyes of people. And I thank God he opened my eyes. I've since repented. I voted for Donald Trump in the Republican primary. There was nobody else I was going to vote for. Certainly wasn't going to vote for Nikki Haley. Absolutely not. And I voted for him in this general election and was happy to do so. Stayed up late waiting for the final results on election night and prayed and fasted with my channel subscribers here. So you see, God is in control. And I am so ever so grateful. I mean, the Democrats, they have just really, you guys have really messed up. Okay. When you started with that Twan stuff, When you started going after the children, when you started opening up that border and dumping these criminal illegals, okay, they're already criminal because they came into the country illegally, but I'm talking about the hardcore criminals, dumping them into the Black neighborhoods. See, the Democrats have said repeatedly they don't care about Americans, but they certainly don't care about Black folks. They've got abortion clinics. They're basically saying, get rid of yourself. And the DNC, an abortion clinic and a vasectomy mobile clinics outside the DNC, abortion clinics in Black neighborhoods, pouring these criminal elements into already crime-infested neighborhoods, poor performing public schools, and it's like some Black people act like they just out to lunch. We have to realize what is actually going on around us. And the Democrats' main thing is smear tactics and demonizing and calling someone a racist when they themselves are the racist. You have one finger pointing at someone else. You got three pointing back at yourself.
They essentially set $2.5 billion on fire. They raised $1.5 billion through the campaign, another billion through the super PAC Future Forward. And there's been no accountability. We still haven't gotten any answers as to why Oprah, a billionaire, got $2.5 million through her production company. Why couldn't she pay for it? She's an oligarch. She could have just paid for the production costs herself. And not to mention the fact that they've spent $450,000 putting Kamala Harris's face on the sphere. Now tell me why that would be helpful. Tell me how that would help her win. Obviously, that was utter failure. And then they spent $500,000 essentially bribing Al Sharpton moments before he interviewed her. And this is our hard-earned money. This is the money that I worked so hard to raise. I raised millions of this, and donors are feeling burned. And let me tell you, although I might be the only one coming forward, I haven't met a single donor who disagrees with me.
So what's been the response, Lindy, since you made your announcement?
Vitriolic. And they say they're not a cult, but look at how they behave when one of their own dares to think for herself. The excommunication, the defamation, the public shaming, the boycott campaigns, the psychological terrorism. I no longer have comments on any of my social media, because it's just too much. I don't need that. It's just endless. And as soon as you step out of line, they will get you. Without a single exception, they are so angry and upset at the state of the party. They think the party is in complete shambles, and that's totally right. I actually had a donor call me at 3:30 a.m. just a few days ago complaining about how there's no leadership. The party is completely rudderless, and they basically elected 50% of the people who got us into this mess. I'm no longer part of that scene, but I don't know how they're going to get out of this wilderness. The leadership that they elected, they're so tone deaf. Their DNC vice chair is saying that we need to abolish ICE, that we need to defund police, and he's against the Second Amendment. The American people showed in November that this is not the agenda that they want. In 2004, Obama was already getting ready to run for president in 2008. This time, there's no one on the horizon who has that level of talent and ability to inspire. There just simply isn't. I don't see it. Do you?
Okay, no ability to inspire, no one on the horizon. Who are they going to run? Maybe Gavin Newsom, maybe Kamala Harris again. Who do they have? Are they just going to pull somebody out? Who's there? Who could run and actually have a chance, especially if these next 4 years are as successful as I anticipate them to be? The Democrats, you guys put yourself in this position because you would not look at merit and you use identity politics. You got you have a bunch of numbskulls to choose from. You have some idiotic people. Most of them are foaming at the mouth out here in these streets, protesting virtually every day in DC against Doge. And back to what I really want to talk about, considering Doge, just leading into this, the Obama judge, Tanya Chutkan, just ruled in favor of the Republicans. Yes, because attorney generals across several states were going after this whole Doge and Elon Musk thing, but Tanya Chutkan, again I say an Obama-appointed judge, just said no. that Elon Musk can continue with what he's doing, auditing wasteful spending. So that really puts a hammer on things when you have an Obama appointed judge who you thought, because it was an Obama appointed judge, would rule in your favor, but she did not. Whoa. Tanya Chutkin, girl, you thought for yourself? Ooh, I wonder what the Democrats are going to try and do to her. What do you guys think? You think they're going to come after her some kind of way? Because you heard Lindy Lee, when one of their own doesn't walk in line, they come after. Look at what they're doing now to Eric Adams, or trying to do. Governor Kathy Hochul of New York. Governor of New York is trying to see about getting the mayor, Eric Adams, the mayor of New York City, removed. Yes, that's what they're trying to do right now. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. It's really been a pleasure. Don't forget to smash that like button, comment, share, subscribe, hit all notifications so that you are always alerted of new content. Don't forget that I'm also on a new channel, The Linda B Show, right here on YouTube. We discuss everything except politics. And also, you can email me. You can email me, chatwithmelindab@gmail.com. You all be blessed. Love God, your families, these United States of America, and march on, warriors.